This framing is better than normal. What's going on with that? I framed this up real good today. What is up, my interwebby type people? Welcome to Shareware, where we share the latest and greatest in technology. Now today, I have in front of me another product from the Aodin company, Aodin, if I am not pronouncing it right. I have yet to see somebody who knows for sure how to say it, including the people that work there that didn't answer the question. So, Aodin is a company that is dabbling in smart TV types of gadgets. I reviewed a smart TV box for them, which kind of resembled a Roku, but actually had a little bit more power to it and was able to do some computing on its own. So if you had a keyboard or something like that, you could actually make this thing a computer on your television, which was pretty cool for what it was and what the price was. This is no different as far as something cool for the value, because at $250, now I know that's a little bit more expensive than the products I typically get on here, but this is a all-in-one device for the person who enjoys multimedia, who enjoys movies, who enjoys watching things on the go. This is the must-have device. I'm calling it now. Must-have device of 2017 is sitting in this box right now. This is a $240 wireless projector. Now, projectors have been out for a while now, and they had so much hype early on. Everything had a projector in it. You could get cell phones with projectors in them. You could get, I remember the very first YouTube camera I ever had actually had a projector built in. So whatever you recorded in 1080p, you could shoot on a wall, and it was like a cool little gimmick. And then they faded out because the technology didn't get good enough, fast enough, and we found other means of watching media, mainly on a teeny tiny screen on your cell phone. And then now everybody's wearing these, including myself. So, Aodin was like, hey, we got an answer to that. And it's this right here. This beautiful, may I say, rose gold beveled mini wireless projector. It's got 32 gigs of storage inside, and much like their smart TV box, it is also running the same software inside. So in here you get Kodi, which is a downloading and streaming application. You get your Netflix and your YouTube and, all your social medias. You get a browser. All of those cool things are already packed inside of here. And also a very, very substantial and lumen projector, which shoots very, very high quality images. I was genuinely impressed with what this thing is capable of. So getting into the box, you get your manual, which I don't know if you can see that all that well, but it's got a dinosaur coming out of the television, which it's got good quality, but it does not have dinosaur attacking technology. First of all, before I start ripping and everything, I just want to say shout out to Aodin for packaging boxes so nicely. They give you little tabs so you can pull them all out, but it's all in there, nice and uniform. Inside this one, you are greeted by, it looks like an HDMI cord. So they give you an HDMI because this thing has an HDMI port on the side of it, which allows you to hook up high definition gaming and any other thing that you really want to just utilize this thing as a television. Then you have a hookup to be able to do so. So if I wanted to, maybe connect it to my computer and have it shoot my screen, I can. If I want to hook it to an Xbox One, PS4, yada yada, you get my drift. You are able to turn this thing into a 1080p television. Inside box number 2, you are greeted by your little adorable micro tripod, which I'll just screw this on right now. There is a quarter by 20, for those of you that don't know, is what the standard size for mounting on cameras are. And that's what this has on the bottom. You get a little micro tripod. It also extends. So I'll get this set up right here, looking all cool. You also get your charging cord inside that box. Down here, I will go ahead and open, but I already know what this is. This would be your remote, which they do not come with batteries, but it is very much I'll open it up. It's very much the Roku design, if you've seen that. Very, very similar to the Roku remote. So you already know what you're working with if you've got one of those dongle style television boxes to make your TV a smart TV. I'm reaching over here because I want to send a quick shout out. I'm not gonna make a video about this thing, but this is a Jellycomb wireless keyboard. And this thing was $10 on Amazon and works beautifully with this thing, because not only does it have a scrolling pad in the middle, but you also have your QWERTY keyboard. So it's very, very comfortable and ergonomic and just made for easy use with this projector, which, if you've got this setup going right here, who's cooler than you when you show up at the party? Seriously. Now, when I say that this thing is a completely wireless projector, I'm not just saying the fact that you don't have to have it hardwired to your wall in order for it to get power. Now, it does have a battery inside that is rechargeable, so that's good, but it also has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in, meaning that with this wireless keyboard connecting via Bluetooth, they can pair beautifully, and then it has Wi-Fi, so that way you're getting your internet streaming, and that seemed to work magically. I was very, very impressed with how fast my YouTube videos were going and how well Netflix was streaming, and a lot of that has to do with the computing power inside, which, like I said, it is 32 gigs, I believe 2 gigabytes of RAM, so it's good enough for streaming, and that's more than you can ask for something like this. Now, I have done another projector on this channel, and much like that one, this also has Miracast and AirPlay, which means that you can stream directly from your cell phone or computer directly to this thing and have it cast your screen, which, like, say you have a specific television provider that does not let you cast various sporting games, Comcast, I can turn it on my phone and have it cast through here, and that did work for me, which gave me a 120-inch screen to watch the Blazers on, which was fantastic. And since I got my phone in my hand, just look at this side-by-side comparison of size. This thing is smaller than a cell phone. It's a little bit thicker, but this is a 7 Plus for comparison. But the footprint is smaller than my cell phone. This can totally fit in a pocket, which is exactly where it's going. As soon as I'm done with this video, I'm gonna carry this little guy everywhere, just because it is such a cool, not only conversation piece, but it's so functional. Like, if you're a teacher, I don't know how you don't have one of these already. You know, throw this in your purse, throw it in your briefcase. You know, the next time you're trying to make a point on something, but can't seem to grasp exactly what you're trying to say, load up a damn video. You know, show your students something, immerse them somehow. This does have internal speakers, but being Bluetooth, pair it with a really good Bluetooth speaker, and you have the ultimate on-the-go media setup. It really doesn't get much better than this. I am so genuinely impressed with how cool this little thing is. It does autofocus, but there is a focusing wheel on the side if you're finding it's not exactly finding the distance that you have it set to. And I have yet to find a length where I couldn't get it to focus manually. I had it about 3 inches from a wall, and then I had it about 15 feet from a wall. I was still able to get it to focus. Granted, the lighting didn't pan out, and the further away you get, the dimmer it does get. So I wouldn't recommend watching it at that distance unless you're in a truly dark space. But daylight with the blinds drawn, it was functioning up to, I would guess and say 150 inches for a screen. I was very impressed. And I will say that the frame rate on this thing might actually be good enough to where I would recommend gaming on it. If you're in a dark room, you know, maybe kick it down to about 20 inches. But I would definitely game on this thing. I really would. I wouldn't go all professional Call of Duty on it, but for your recreational gamer, say you've got a kid and you're running over to grandma's house and you know her TV doesn't have HDMIs, bring this along and shine it on her pasty walls. Or pasty grandma. Don't do that. You know, blind her. She's already blind, she's dying. Don't do it. But anyways, it's got a TF card reader. I haven't really ran through it. It's got 2 USBs, DC-in, which is your charging, and then a headphone port. So you can either run headphones off of it, or I would guess maybe even wired speakers. I haven't tried it, but I'd assume so, being as they kind of seem to have thought of everything else. As far as the software inside goes, like I said, it is running all of those applications, but it's doing it through an Android base. So it's primarily Android. So doing things like AirPlay is kind of a little finicky. And I've always thought the Kodi software, although cool, is finicky in itself because only maybe 5% of the links typically work. But this is such a cool product for someone that is always on the go. Throw this thing in your pocket because it does fit in your pocket if this is a cell phone and this is that, and that is you and I am me. But it would totally fit in a pocket. Carry these two together, have this cast to this. This shows on a wall that's 150 inches and looks really badass and makes you the life of the party. You're not gonna really go wrong. So like always, I will leave the link to this down below if you wanna check it out. Like this video, leave a comment on what I should get my grubby little fingers on next. Love you all. Deuces, kitties.